is going to inform the president. Does that happen in organizations? No, it happens in small groups. Where did the question, what is the future of OD, come from? And I am sorry to say, in my opinion, and I have been wrong. I was wrong once in '87, another time in '94. And nothing I can remember in this century.
You are losing your memory.
Here in New Jersey, reporting in. I had something I was going to say there.
It was 1984.
In your opinion, OD, the
question.
future
OD,
of
the
OD.
future of OD.
Oh, she's great.
When Sam was introducing this, she said there's a continuum here. OD is dead. Who is asking, who is providing that answer to the question of what's the future of OD? It's not women, and it's not people of color. It's people who look like me.
And they're saying it's dead.
And why would that be coming from white, straight white males? Good question. We must have a stake in something. First of all, where did all of you people come from? When I ran the intern program for NTL, we had to search for women. There were 3 women in a group of 20. We had to devise rules for how you divide it up into small groups. And our favorite way was to put 1 woman in each group. The switch now, and we teach in maybe 7 graduate programs, 80% women. 80-20.
Used to be 20/80.
Where did all of that come from? Why is this switch? And why do men, not all men, a few men, are raising the question? Ask yourself, who have you heard ask the question, what is the future of OD?
Right.
Now, what is the future of anything? Carolyn, I love Carolyn Lukensmeyer's concept. Incidentally, Carolyn was a sophomore at the University of Iowa who came to Bethel in 1962 as a member of the college student lab, which we started. And it was her first group experience. And her word, her opening word here, was so beautiful. Context. Understand the context. Now, what is the context that we're all operating in and living in? Do we know what our future is? No, we got uncertainty, ambiguity, right? A whole set of things. So who are the people that are saying something is dead as if they knew where it is going? That question comes out of, in my thought, an issue of our time as root value in OD. We're talking about, and those of you who are interested in the video that we're going to be doing tomorrow morning, we'll see an interview with Ken Benny, one of the founders of NTL, who had 3 major things that were at the heart of the birth of NTL, Lewin, post-World War II, 1947. Number 1, participation in the decision-making about the things that control you. In other words, democracy. Second, what is the state of science? What can we learn about, through research, about development, about change, about whatever? Third is, what is the nature of the helping process? Those 3 factors drove the whole movement that fueled the development of not just NTL, but the group movement. At one point, I was working full-time for NTL. There were 100 groups in the Bay Area that involved groups that were competing with what we were trying to recruit for NTL. It exploded. And I don't know where you were during that time. But those values are still present. They are still the guiding force in my thing. What do we know? How do we know it? How can we understand what's going on? And Lewin's contribution was action research. That's still there. We're still struggling with the issue of social justice that underlies the democracy thing. We heard Carolyn's talk, and it's run through the keynotes here. And this room is full of people who are interested in helping, in the helping process, and under what conditions do we know how to contribute help without creating dependency and all the rest of it. So our notion of the future is it's exploding out there in terms of need. There is no other way, there is no way for society to get organized without groups and organizations and structures to get work done. We cannot do the work of our cultures individually. So organizations are always going to be there. Our choice about what to devote our efforts to is a decision that's up to each one of us about our priorities and how we choose to relate to the context. Warren Bennis gave a talk that impacted me recently, recently being a couple of years ago. 3 reasons for leadership failure. One is the leader does not understand the context. The second is the leader does not understand the people right around them in the organization. The third is leader does not understand what's going on inside of self. He used himself as an example of why he said yes as president of University of Cincinnati when he should have said no. That he wasn't listening to himself.
He said that himself.
And this is him talking in a keynote speech.
He said, I didn't want to be president of the University of Cincinnati. I wanted to be president of anything. I wanted to be president. And when I found out that, I didn't realize what I'd taken on. But I liked the idea of being president. And he said, when he realized that, he got out. Because he said he didn't take on the presidency of the University of Cincinnati.
So, the future is what we choose to do with one another, decide to do together. We don't all have to do the same thing. It's just fine for us to be scattered all over the horizon, but it's not okay to be disconnected. And so these are the kinds of settings that enable us to work together across differences. Take a look at the room. Is this the way the room ought to look? How do you feel about it? How do you make a difference in that? Is this the climate we want? Is this the that we want? And on my own decision, as I'm doing my life planning at 77, is I think I'm going to change my direction a little. And right now I'm a full-time faculty, and I read too many dissertation drafts and too many assessments. And there are other things that I can do within the fielding university setting to contribute to a larger thing. I don't particularly think I'll go for national movements, etc. But I can feel a settling. This would be a good time to shift the emphasis, to think about my priorities. I don't know where it's going to come out. I would say it's a good time for all of us to check in with ourselves, not necessarily at this moment, but sometime this year, about are we paying attention to context? Are we paying attention to what's going on in our communities, in our neighborhood, in our groups right around us, and what's going on in ourselves? And I've put my money in the last